My name is Aram. Welcome to Godsfall. Godsfall is a custom Dungeons & Dragons campaign in an original world that is written, played, recorded, and produced in Washington, D.C.
Hi, I'm Steven. I'm playing Torrvic Wildtongue, the level 4 Dwarf Paladin.
Hi, I'm Doug. I'm playing Dorro Knott, the level 4 Halfling Rogue.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm playing Xion Praeten, a level 4 Human Sorcerer.
Hi, my name's Kelly, and I play Rina Falaval, a level 4 Wild Elf Ranger.
Last time on Godsfall.
The players found themselves pulled into an alternate reality where they faced an inhuman army bearing down upon them and their small keep, devising a plan to pull the army towards the center with the main group while Torrvic and Dorro sabotaged their siege weapons was going very well until the God of Luck displayed the downside of her divinity.
Now you rolled well, right?
Yeah, like a 21.
So you go to fire at this orc and you let go of your bow, and a second later your eyes widen as a sparrow crosses the path of your arrow. So you strike Torrvic in the side, in the wing. He goes spiraling down and slams into the dirt right about here and is immediately gone because there's just a sea of orcs and ogres and whatever. He's just gone.
The young gods of force, fire, luck, and speed fought nearly as one, while Brannick slaughtered any who broke their line. They were a devastating force, but not unstoppable.
Para's going to try something, so he's going to concentrate, and he fails.
So it's like
Para was trying to split the fire evenly between the two and faltered, and that comes down. There is no fire to protect you this round.
Catching Para as he fell unconscious, Xion encased both of them in a protective bubble of force just before orcs broke their line and attacked.
All right, so you see Xion kind of kneel down, and then you see like a weird shimmer in the air around him as some sort of bubble has appeared around him and Para. I'm gonna put you in the same space for right now. So you guys are seeing like, boom, boom, like this weird shimmers in midair as they're bouncing off this shield.
Nine.
Zion's eyes roll back in his head and he falls on top of Para.
Dorro, having finished sabotaging the catapults assigned to him, turned to see his friends falling and Torrvic surrounded and quickly teleported to the dwarf's side.
15. Okay, so you appear exactly where you want to appear, and there is just this giant, what looks like a plank, but it's a giant spear, and it's ending jammed through Torrvic. And he is just like pale and gray, and he reaches out and you hear, Dorro! And then he just vanishes.
Meanwhile, in Ani, it is a warm summer day in the grand city of Ani as they are in the middle of preparations for the Rising, a celebration in remembrance of when Zavan first created the great aqueduct walls of Ani by pulling mountain-sized boulders of a bright white stone from the depths of the waters surrounding the island kingdom. Thousands of men and women are busy slathering the columns that adorn the Colosseum, as well as every government building along the canal with a bright limestone wash. You notice that the columns once damaged by Dorro's escape from the Golden Golem have long since been repaired. A group of old dwarves, refugees from Gal Hadir that disapproved of the First Great War and their fellow clan members' dreams of conquest, are busy directing crews to line the canal with thick copper wires supporting hundreds of long glass cones mimicking icicles that shimmer in the noonday sun. North of the city, a council has been called. Queen Phryane sits on her throne while dozens of high royal consorts on all matter of the five kingdoms present themselves one by one, announcing their name, their status, and a pledge of loyalty to their queen. As the lass is introduced, a cry of Phryane starts up among them, quickly growing into a deafening roar. Many have taken to a staggered pronunciation of the queen's name with emphasis on the Ani, connecting her directly with their city. Even to Phryane, the effect is unnerving. To Phryani's left is the Minister of Information, Freneme Adalon, and to her right is the Keeper of the Throne.
Chamberlain Grendel, is that correct?
No, I said Gringle.
Gringle, sorry.
Yeah,
Chamberlain Gringle.
From Beowulf.
Beowulf,
I thought that, yeah. I must have just jumped into my head. The assembled advisors, generals, and minister have the following information to share. The first people up are your war ministers, and they report on the blockade. The Kadarian fleet has grown to nearly 50 vessels, 9 of which have been identified as Ironwood. Their flagship, the Blackwater, is not among those numbers. They remain in a well-spaced, slow patrol in a wide circle around the capital in an odd mimicry of the churning world storm miles beyond. The ships seem wary of approaching any closer. The Kadarian Navy clearly remembers what the God King could do with the Tear of Ceto. About a mile past the mouth of Ani's Grand Canal sit 6 of the 9 Ironwood ships, surrounding a high-walled barge that has been roped in between pairs of the mighty vessels, securing it in place. The platform bears a massive contraption that resembles a huge metal blow-dart tube, mounted atop a rotating platform. Dozens of pipes and vents snake around the barrel, forming a canopy of heavily tarnished bronze. Anian scout ships report that a powerful stench of sulfur hangs in the air whenever they were downwind. Lafleur. There has been a sighting of Baron Lafleur in River Run, in the company of a man in a black mask and an elf from the Ironwood that, when described, sounds an awful lot like Cebu, if you remember him from the Ironwood.
I do. He wouldn't carry my bags.
He would not carry your bag. No, that was Automil. Cebu was the jerk that was pissed at Automil.
Yeah, he also wouldn't carry
He
my
also
bags.
would not carry your bag. Elves aren't big on that. Yeah. Let me see. Especially the wild elves. The preparations. Okay, the preparations that you have requested to go into preparation are underway. Rations from the royal fields and orchids have been set aside for the port towns just outside Ani's walls. With trade at a standstill, these communities are particularly vulnerable. Fortunately, because you guys grow enough food and because the food is so plentiful and the orchards, produce all year and refresh quickly because of all the magical water. I mean, you guys feel pretty comfortable that you're not going to be starved out. Although, there'll be no balls for a while.
Yeah, why are we wasting resources on painting things limestone? Morale, I guess?
Well, this is a big celebration. Yeah, it's a big celebration. You have the limestone any way. You're trying to kind of carry on life goes on, life continues. If you were to cancel the celebration, it would be bad for morale.
No,
also,
austerity is
you've always
coming,
liked
my
this
queen.
one. I mean, this is a nice celebration. This has always been one of the more, basically you have one duty. You go down to the last piece of granite that Zavan ever touched, and you basically just do a little ceremony. There are some praise by the Zavanites. So there were some angry Zavanites, but everything's calmed down. Everything is resolved. So you're gonna go. They'll say a few words, and then you come back. That's it. The military and city guard have seized all remaining barrels of the corrosive and highly explosive dwarven acid, netting a total of 17 barrels. So far, your alchemists have been unable to recreate it. Hundreds of barrels of lamp and whale oil have been commissioned from local Andean shops and civilian services. So they're not lighting all the lamps. The walls provide plenty of light, so it's never dark really in Ani, but you're not lighting all the lamps, you're saving oil, you're stockpiling all of this material as per requested. And that is all of the public things. After those presentations have happened, you kind of see Freneme give you just the slightest, most imperceptible motion towards the Queen's Garden, and that's her typical way of telling her that either he, she, or both of them, in this case both of them, have information for you that should be done very quietly.
as you've read all these people, they've all presented one by one, and you've seen all of them, they're all in a variety of loyal. Some of them seem very loyal, and people have been becoming more loyal to you, right? And you're starting to suspect that it's, probably because of your abilities, because of the more contact they have with you, the more loyal they seem to be. But also when you've been doing your outings and your public presentations, the people seem to be loving you more and more. So you're reaching them.
Excellent.
Yes. All right, did you want to go to the garden? Or do you have anything else to say here first? Atop your throne, beneath the great well.
Right. Before that, can you just explain? So you said that I have harnessed the power of the, what's it?
Yeah, you figured it out. Mostly you think. I mean, there's this tier of Ceto that sits within this great glass well that feeds all the water to this giant magical aqueduct that basically makes Ani work. And you knew that, you read through a lot of the old God King's notes that he took upon this artifact, basically, this powerful thing that was given to him by the old god of the sea. And you've realized that the water that flows out and over on these walls and then into the King Sea around you mingles with the King Sea. And the power of this thing is so vast that you can reach out when you connect to it through the bridge, the same way you were doing with Dorro and with everyone else. And you can reach out into the sea and churn those waters. Now, only for about, right now at least, half a mile around the island, and you're only able to do small waves, maybe enough to push ships back to keep them from approaching any closer, but not quite the destructive powers Zavon had, where he could basically sink whole entire armadas with the wave of his hand. But you're working on it.
Obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything takes practice, man.
That's right, exactly. So you've really spent time, working on your abilities and just sitting there on your throne beneath the tier, just linking with it, as best you can with the bridge and strengthening that connection whenever you're able. Whenever your time is not pressed.
That's all.
And they all just get up and quickly leave. Quickly and efficiently.
Always efficiently.
Yes.
Gesture towards the garden.
Of course. Well, there's a staircase in the back that winds up around. Yes, absolutely. So you wind up around and up to a garden above the well, at the very top of the wall.
High above the throne room and the well sits a wide half circle of luscious pale green feathergrass, rung by a thicket of lemon trees pressed right up against the mountain that Zavon carved into in order to lay the foundation for his great palace. Just to the north sits the top of the well, a slight bubble of water that rises above the rest as the tier of Ceto eternally refreshes Ani's great aqueducts. In the center of the well is the Royal Fountain of Ani, a tiered structure of 10-foot-wide glass petals on rows that spin counterclockwise and delicately pass water back and forth.
So you guys are kind of in the garden. It's a couple of hours past noon. It's bright but cool up here, and the movement of the water and the movement of the fountain and the wind, it all creates for an environment where if you talk close to each other, it's impossible for anyone to overhear you.
What news?
I looked to Freneme to see if she was wanting to go first or wanting me to go first.
She thanks you very much, and she'd be happy to go first. Well, the spy network that you requested has gone well. I have personally connected and recruited a dozen men and women that I trust fully in every kingdom of the land, so we shall keep our ears open. The Snow Spire, the Elven Tower of Snow Egglass has grown a bit more insular since the death of one of their princes. As useless as he may have appeared, he was favored by his mother. However, they have agreed to send his brother, Randalst Odevar, as an envoy on their behalf and seem unworried about the blockade. They say he'll arrive tomorrow morning. Outreach to the Ironwood, our contacts in Riverrun have reported that liaisons in the Wild Elves have been recalled and no one's returning our messages. We're going to continue to attempt to reach them, but as of now, there's silence. And that's all I have to report, ma'am. Chancellor.
Of course. At your service, my most gracious majesty,
says a wizened, bespectacled and diminutive gnome. Gringle's balding head sports a powdered wig. He often wears thick, white makeup slathered on his leathery face, lips reddened by lipstick in a line from the base of his philtrum to his lower lip. He is given to wearing a beauty mark on his left cheek, which, he insists,
positively drives the ladies wild.
At 257, he is in his older ages, gnomes on average living somewhere between 250 and 300 years, though his mind is acute as ever. Gringle has been Phryne's government, law, dwarven language, and politics tutor from the time she was a small girl, and so is fiercely loyal to
Her Most Gracious Majesty.
I'm picturing like the French court, right? That's
Yes.
kind of look you're going for. Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
basically, like if John Malkovich's character in Dangerous Liaison.
Except it's a little no.
No.
He considers his apt pupil to be his greatest accomplishment, and so is very proud of her, yet is appropriately deferential. The gnome is taken to wearing elegant fashions from only the most modish designers of Ani. He can be sly and conniving, but has no greater ambition than his current role as Her Majesty's keeper. As head of household, he is charged with the managing of Queen Regent Cledivo's day-to-day affairs, which he does assiduously.
As to your call for mandatory service, as per your orders, Arnie has instituted a policy of mandatory military service for all able-bodied men and women. The youthful and strong are selected for combat and defensive training, while those too old, young, or too delicate are assigned to support crews. As to the Raison election development, I regret to inform Her Majesty that the next major elections in Raison don't happen for a year and a half now, unless someone were to meet with an unfortunate accident. As to the Golden Golem situation, Majesty, ships have moved in synchronized sweeps up and down the Grand Canal and have reported positively no resistance. Your city's advisor's best guess is that the creature eventually found a way to the mouth of the canal and into the depths of the King's Sea. Who knows what will happen then? And one more thing, Majesty. I have a little something for you.
Gringle holds up a small velvet pouch in deep amber, lined with finely sewn cobalt silk that appears dotted with small white stars to mimic the night sky. As you watch, the stars seem to slowly move across on the inside.
This is a pouch of deception, made by elven thread mages before the Gods' War. It has one large flap that covers the main pouch and two smaller ones across the front. You only need to place the an item within it, and it will remember your hand, and your hand alone, allowing only you to retrieve. For all others, there will be simply nothing inside. Was there anything further, Majesty?
No, and this is truly a gift fit for a queen, Gringle. And I'm gonna just push a little bit of approval towards him, so he...
Very easy with him.
Yeah,
Yes,
just...
it's incredibly, yes,
Yeah.
he's very pleased with himself already.
Well, as he should be. That is the most useful thing anyone has brought me today.
I figured you'd be happy with that one.
They said there was
Because of
an
the-
envoy coming from Ryland, correct?
The envoy is coming from Ryland, correct? Yes,
Right, and
indeed.
if the Rylanders are unconcerned about the blockade,
Fine, that's why
I
they
would
are
like to know
unconcerned about
why.
the blockade. I shall find out.
And very strange, too, in geopolitical terms, Majesty. After all, the Rylanders would want nothing to do with Kadar. They've made this perfectly clear. An alliance of that sort would be, well, rather troubling.
That level of bigotry is rare amongst our kind, of course, but it does exist. The dwarves, certainly it's common enough.
sorry.
Well, they are. There's like racist dick dwarves everywhere.
I know, but I love, like, we're not that bigoted, but these dwarves, we're going to stereotype
yes,
by talking about how bigoted they are as a matter of stereotyping.
Yes.
And any news of the idiots?
Yes. Okay. So this is what they know. They're pretty sure that ship that, teleported was them.
I mean, I am I am willing to go beyond pretty sure to just
That was them.
declare it so.
Yeah, or at the very least, Dorro was involved. So that ship was pursued by the Blackwater and 2 other ships south. And there's not a lot of information about that. There's definitely some people at Phalite, which is along the. We should have showed the path along south, actually. But the last time they were seen was when they passed it right when they passed right around here, which would be where Phalite is. So right into the Tranquil Pass.
Okay. Gee,
And
I
they were
wonder
being
where
pursued.
I wonder where they could be going.
Yeah, exactly.
And who or what is Jarden?
The Spear of Jarden is basically the last outpost of your kingdom.
Right, but what's Jarden? Is that a person? Is it a place?
No, Jordan was an old great city that was destroyed in the Gods' War.
That was apparently north of
Correct.
wherever.
Bessa.
Correct. Yes,
Bessa.
basically, Jordan and Bessa served on this continent that had existed, which is now just a blasted thing, as the great northern and southern cities of this land. As you're looking at this
Bag.
fabulous bag,
I mean,
really.
I do love a bag.
Yeah, absolutely. A young aide, comes bursting up the stairs. She's completely out of breath because she ran a long way. She drops to one knee. She's panting. She's like, "Man, I'm so sorry for the interruption, but it's important. Brannick is missing.
Missing.
His cell is empty. It is locked. The guards have never left. He's just gone." The spear kind of clumps to the ground.
No, Torrvic!
He's gone.
But now that dies.
Well,
Baron LaFleur too! Nice to meet you!
Well, that one has begun lumbering back towards these guys.
I don't care if it's building a house!
My turn. I roll Constitution to wake up. Does a 13 work?
Yeah, that'll work actually. You're awake.
All right.
Just as you see an ogre over you.
I try to force him back.
Okay, do you want to push him away or hit him?
I want to hit him.
Gotcha. Roll to hit.
Does 17 hit him?
17 does hit him.
13.
And he's been hurt before, so that was enough. You just kind of like, you hit him as hard as you can. It forces his neck violently around and you hear it snap and it just kind of thunk, falls to the ground.
Para to roll Constitution.
Para's up.
Yay.
Para's up and like instantly just throws out a fire because he's panicked.
I mean, he did it the right way. It's okay.
Nope.
All right, beasties.
All right,
he threw it
that
on
one's
the
going to swing at Brannick. Misses pathetically.
Oh no.
Oh.
Wow, Rina.
Oh.
We knew you so little.
It's been good knowing you guys.
This ogre is now the godling of luck.
Very lucky.
7 plus 21 points of damage as he brings it down directly on the back of your neck.
Way over half.
Roll me a Constitution save.
All right, here we go.
Korak, and she just crumbles under this strike, and you just see Automil's face rage as she just crumples to the ground. I mean, it looked like it could have killed her.
Yeah.
Okay, Automil has one target right now. Just turns, you've crumpled in front of me, he's face down with this guy, and he's just gonna do 3 shots at full strength. He's gonna take the -5 to hit with all of them. That's gonna hit. That's gonna hit.
-1 from what you were.
Yeah, he's gonna miss the second one, but he hits with the first 2. So, 1d8 plus 13. 20. So, he just kind of, you see his arm tremble twice, thump, thump. 2 of them go so deep into his chest that you can see points in the flesh
little
on
heart
the back,
beating at
right?
the back.
Yep. And he crumples to the ground and is dead.
Damn.
Gone.
Okay, Brannick.
And Brandon's going to swing at this one, provided he doesn't swing pathetically.
It's like still attached. Beating
Yeah,
its
that's what I'm
last.
saying.
He kills that one. Dead.
Torrvic's out now. Oh, actually, we're Rina. Sorry, Rina. You get to roll Constitution.
Oh, okay, cool. 13.
You're up, but you are dazed. And
Right.
You're hurting badly. You've never, ever been hit like that before. But you're up.
Okay.
Coughing a bit, maybe
Kinda
a little.
shuffling around a little back and forth.
Maybe a little bit of blood on the edge of your
Right.
lips, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Torrvic's out. So, Dorro.
And you can see, Dorro, from your position, the next wave looks even worse. The rest of the ogres have rallied. There's another Cyclops coming in from the south. These three have reorganized and are coming in. You don't see how they're going to make it through the next round, frankly.
I'm not.
What are you thinking about? I don't understand.
Well,
He's so shocked by the Torrvic thing. He's like,
When people near me get hurt.
Yep,
those
no, I get
people
it.
Get fucking capitalized on like Batman.
I get it. But if you let everyone else die.
I don't want that Cyclops to think that he can just, I'm just gonna kill Dorro's friends because it's easy.
tag him.
We'll get him from atop the barrier.
I want to dash climb up this fucking Cyclops so I can get close enough to his face so he sees this little, what the hell? And I want to say to him, he probably won't understand me because he doesn't speak common, but I'm going to say,
Sure they do.
you know, oh, okay.
Very smart Cyclops.
I'm coming back for you!
All right.
Like in a different tone than what most people hear Dorro say. And then I go to return to the group.
I'm coming back for you.
Yeah, that voice I use for LaFleur,
Yeah.
that's what he hears.
Yeah, got you.
Back for you.
All right, so he's kind of startled and then boom, you just vanish off his shoulder. And where do you want to appear?
With them.
Roll, well, that's easy because it's open. So, yeah, you vanish from where you are.
Where am I?
Over there.
Oh,
Chilling.
yeah, I was taking a nap. I'm back. I reappear in the middle of the group and I say, time to go!
But we have to wait for Torrvic. And it's my turn.
No, we don't. We'll be waiting a long time, Xion.
Yikes. None of these things Dorro would say.
Well, I do say that, and but I do start clasping other people's hands. All right, Para.
I'm just going to try something. Oh, Para tries to extend the fire all the way around, and he's able to, but it's a much lower than he thought it was going to be. It's only like a foot off the ground. So not exactly intimidating.
Okay, beasties.
Okay.
I can't wait until we go to a town and we don't have anything to do, and it's like, hey, I need to like go to the tavern and hang out, and I'm gonna rest for a while, and, you know, I'm gonna fix my armor, and then that goes on for a day. The end.
They all
not like time to save the world again, 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 time to save the world again.
They're all
Don't be a superhero.
they all basically, I mean, they all slow down a little bit before they go through the fire. Some of them leap, some of them jump, some of them are tentative, so it slows them a bit, but they're all inside, and next round, every single one of those will attack.
Okay.
But Dorro goes first.
Yeah, unfortunate for them, none of them will actually attack.
I scream out to everybody, grab hands.
Hands.
All right, Brandon.
Everyone's very, very good at grab hands. Even Brannick kind of like steps back. He's got a sword out, but he's got like, you know, reaching behind him with the hand. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Automil, I forgot his turn.
Automil's like, we should go, my friend. And he reaches back as well and grabs.
All right, Dorro.
I wish I was like in the center and everyone was holding me up.
Okay, you know what? You like
That wouldn't happen. Why would that happen?
Because
Plus, if any of them have ranged weapons.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're not leaving now.
No, they're all kind of reach back and grab kind of you, and you're like making sure you're in contact with everyone. Yeah.
Grab my head with the haircut, with the gone hair.
He's got like a foot up here. He's, you know, I got y'all.
Would it be easier for me to put us at the entrance or in it?
You could easily see the top of that. So the top of that, or
All right, we all get to roll though.
to help bolster them if you got powers.
What am I rolling?
Yes, please do.
I rolled a natural 20, so that's helpful.
So what is it?
Automil rolled an 18.
14.
Okay.
And I'm
so
10.
10. So you feel a good burst of energy come from Automil and from Para, so that was helpful.
Xion.
And from Xion as well, yeah. So you feel burst of energy from them. What did you roll?
10.
That's enough. So you all vanish from where you are, just as like, you know, swords and Xion slamming and teeth like all right. And you reappear at the top of the castle. And Rina is like, "Are you well, Torrvic?"
I turn to them and say, "Stay here!" And
Wait, my friend. And she points to the board. There's a little box off to the side, like where there's like a trough carved into the table, but there's also a box with a glass top on it. And she points into it, and there's a little figurine of Torrvic in that box.
I don't know what happened. He disappeared.
He appeared here, my friend.
Well, can we put him back on the board?
You can't. I mean, you can't. It's smash. she actually takes the hilt of her sword and crack, and she just launch backwards. Yeah, you can't get to that piece.
All right, well, I reach out with my divinity and try to crash the box.
It's like you can't even grab it. Wherever you try and meet that bridge, it instantly rebuffs you. It feels like the force field that hurled you all out at the top of the Union.
And when the staircases, invisible walls.
Same thing, exactly.
I'm going to go back and find that Cyclops.
Roll me a perception.
1.
Okay, you see the first Cyclops.
That's
the biggest, angriest Cyclops you've ever seen, with spiked shoulders and a huge gash over one milky eye and just fangs jutting out of his mouth.
Gash over 1 minute. He's only got one eye.
He's a Cyclops.
So
a gash over one ear.
Even better.
A gash over one ear. No. A gash over one ear where the whole top of it's missing. It's vicious looking, bigger than the rest too.
Okay, all right. Well, so it's him. So I'm going back down there to end that one.
All right, so you see him I'll be back. And he vanishes, and you see him over there. All right, so
I'm just sitting on the ground.
Right.
I'm feeling the day.
Para is healing. Whoever needs healing, I'm sorry. Sorry. Flame.
This is gonna be new for me too. So I'm whoa.
You know what? I'm tired of fucking carrying it around. You know what? There's never going to be a situation where I'm it's time to use it, because it's never going to present itself. So I'm just going to fucking use it right now. I'm going to throw it right at the fucking thing and then just teleport away.
All right. So you appear, you're hey, he kind of turns, and
you know what I'm doing, don't you?
Hurl this yellow gem with this black core at it. It roll dex.
Fucking 1.
Okay. So you hurl it like this. Right? And it kind of rolls up your fingers, you just kind of let go a little bit too soon, and you see it fly straight up into the air.
Well, now I leave immediately.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you, and it goes tink, 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 and then you guys see a burst of energy as a earth elemental erupts out of the ground and just punches the first thing that comes to it is that Cyclops, lays it out in one hit as its surprised eye opens and just starts attacking everything else around. Smash!
Here, back with the rest, I say, that should hold them.
Yep. Yeah, you see like a lot of orcs flying off and blood, and that goes on for a good half an hour before it finally quiets down.
Oblivion gem.
Yeah. But not so much of an oblivion.
Yeah. I know, I made it up, Dorro.
Yeah. Actually, now that you're thinking about it, you're I guess that does look kind of like those gems they would use to summon earth elementals. Otherwise than that, it's grown quiet. And there's about 20 minutes until dawn. What do you do?
That didn't take very long.
It was only an hour. That didn't take more than 40 minutes.
Right. It just felt long. Yeah. All right. Well, first things first, I'm going to survey their numbers and see what kind of damage we've done.
I mean, you guys took out combined, and you would say 50 of them. So, I mean, they had 1,000. They now have 950.
Right, and 6 less catapults, right?
Right. Well, actually, I would say you took out 100.
Well, technically, they only really have 2 less catapult. No.
No, you got all of them.
3. No, 3 catapults. They're definitely not going to do anything with.
Oh, that's right.
They're
just fine. That's right.
And it's going to kill a bunch more.
Yep,
of them.
that's true. So,
Right.
so 3 of them are ruined, and three of them apparently are perfectly
traps.
fine. Yeah. Yep. All right. That could have gone much, much, much worse, frankly.
Yeah, I was a little skeptical of this plan anyway, because
It was a tough plan.
Right.
It was a tough. I mean, there was always a chance. There was always an option of a frontal assault. It was risky and ballsy. You guys, anyone could have died at any second there. You almost did. This does also underline what Rina pointed out with the Blackwater. Yes, you're powerful. Yes, you can take. Yes, you hurt them much worse than they hurt you, but you will be taken down eventually. Just the numbers are going to be against you eventually. So you can't take out whole armies yet.
Well, I'll face them eventually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I mean, at the rate you guys have been growing in power, I think all of you would have an idea. Maybe in a year this fight would have gone a lot differently. Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited about crushing Cyclops' eyes.
That was pretty
That
actually
was
amazing.
pretty cool. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Let's get fan art of that.
So, I think the fans will like that moment.
Yeah.
fast. I'm just going to point and just say your mic.
Mike 1.
Mike 2.
Mike 3.
Mike 4.
And I'm Mike 5. And we are going to start with giving XP. Sound good?
Always good.
All right, so the first bit of XP, now obviously, Kelly, you're not going to get all of this, but actually let's start with you.
Okay.
We're going to start with you because we're going to do your little side quest, basically. And you get, take 150 XP for taking down the Yeti.
Awesome.
I want you to take an additional 150 XP for tracking Cebu and his gang, finding out the connections between everything there. So go ahead and take 300 right off the bat. Now we're going to go back to the beginning with everyone else at the entrance to the Union. First of all, Doug, take 200 experience points for getting everyone, take 150 XP for getting everyone to the Union. Michael, take 150 XP for defending the watch glass before everyone got to the Union, and everyone take 50 XP who was there for helping Michael. Once we get to the Union, I want take 50 XP for turning into an eagle, which was great, and saving Para. Doug, you take 50 for saving everyone else, and you take 50 for figuring out that you could make people fly. You all did very well in that scene. When you got to the bottom and you were trying to get through ground floor 1, the Chamber of Elements, that was pretty much as joint effort as I've seen out of you guys. So everyone take 150 XP for that. First floor, Chamber of Life and Death. That one was a tricky one. I think, I don't think you guys fully realized what was happening, but you got through it. So everyone take 100 XP. Michael take an extra 50 for basically dying twice.
Yeah.
All right, second floor, the Chamber of Flora and Fauna. Again, you guys worked really well as a team here. I would say, even though Dorro popped up and got a different site, they still teamwork the same when you charge the unicorn. You all pretty much worked as a really good team there. So I would say with the damage dealt and everything you figured out, everyone take 300 XP for that one, because there was the glass spider you guys fought as well as the corrupted unicorn. Then to the Chamber of the Sea. That was where you had to get across those 2 narrow glass bridges, avoid the beastie in the water, and not fall into the whirlpool. I would say that, again, you all did really good teamwork on that one, so take another 200 XP. You got to the beginning where you guys did your planning, at least, for tackling this thing. I think that was good planning. I think you guys got to some good ideas right off the bat. So everyone take 100 XP, and then we'll get the XP for actually killing the beasties when you guys rest again.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Godsfall. There are notes and maps for this episode online at godsfall.com, and you can follow us on Twitter at GodsfallDC. The majority of music and sound effects you heard in this episode are provided by our good friends, Battle Bards. Battle Bards recently launched their website with a massive catalog of music, sound effects, background ambient tracks, and full NPC scripts.
These here are the finest weapons ever wrought by mortal hands. Each piece is a testament to the murderous innovation of every race that has ever practiced the art of war.
Everything you need to make your tabletop RPG sound every bit as good as Godsfall. Be sure to check them out at battlebards.com. As we near the midpoint of Season 2, we are asking all of you to send us any questions you may have for our next mailbag episode. If you are super cool, you can record your question and email it to godsfalldc@gmail.com. Our mailbag episodes are some of the most fun to produce, so I'm really looking forward to your questions about the season thus far. And now for an update on the World Book. We have found 3 amazing artists for NPC portraits, images of the main players displaying their full divinities, and this unbelievable land and cityscape designer to truly bring the continents of the 5 kingdoms to life. Additionally, I have about half of the book written, and I'm looking to wrap up the rest in the next 2 months. So with that in mind, I am planning to launch our Kickstarter very soon. For updates on that and more of our future projects, follow us on Twitter at GodsfallDC. Thank you for joining us for episode 36 of Godsfall. We'll see you next time for episode 37 as the players finally reach the top of the Union and learn of the tower's true purpose.